So Kabutops in Pokemon Sword and Shield, even with 105 defense, is not the tanky. It's not super tanky because it has 60 health and 70 special defense, so it won't really take many hits. But the thing that makes it really good is it's 115 attack and 80 speed. And 115 attack is pretty good, but 80 speed's like okay, but its abilities make the 80 speed a lot better. With Swift Swim, which doubles your speed in rain, and Weak Armor, if you get hit with a physical hit, it doubles your speed. It lowers your defense, but you're already kind of frail anyway. Battle Armor is whatever, but between Swift Swim and Weak Armor, you can really make up for that 80 speed and be extremely fast. 65 special attack. Kabutops will never be a special attacker. But being Rock Water is a decent typing overall. You're weak to fighting, ground, grass, and electric with a 4 times, with grass being a 4 times. And you resist normal, flying, poison, ice, and a 4 times resistance to fire. So there are things you can do with this. Like these, again, you're not the tankiest thing, so they don't matter, but it's a good thing you have a decent amount of weaknesses, because you can do something with like weakness policy, for example. Weakness policy, endure, max speed, and max attack. I like running this Jolly Nature because just in case you don't get hit with a physical attack, like if you get hit with a super effective special hit or something that just doesn't activate Weak Armor, then you run the risk of you just get outsped and get KO'd. But endure, you can run Stone Edge or Rock Slide. Rock Slide has a chance to miss and better accuracy, but it has less damage. But Stone Edge is just more damage. Liquidation's really good. And then you could either run, I like Leech Life just to gain the health back, because especially if you don't get the Weak Armor proc, you might survive a hit or something like that. I doubt it, but like I just like the Leech Life for the 80. Some of the other moves you could run though are something like, you could run Aqua Tail instead of Liquidation, but higher base power with lower accuracy, but Liquidation has a chance to lower the defense, which it could be more helpful on if you get KO'd, something like that. Body Slam's pretty good, has a chance to flinch. Waterfall also has a chance to flinch if you're being outspeed. I would always run, Submission is not a good move. I would always run the Leech Life over X-Scissor, even though the health probably won't mean that much. It's better than having no effect. But the plan is to get hit with a physical attack that's super effective, so something like a physical fight, like a fighting move, for example, because most of those make contact. But you have to be careful of like an Earthquake or something like that, because ground, unless it's high horsepower, it won't really make contact. Same with electric, unless it's like a Vault Tackle, you won't really make. Same with like you want to get with a fighting move pretty much with this to activate the weakness policy and endure. You could also endure after taking, like after proccing the weakness policy. If they bring in a physical attacker, endure, take a hit, and then get the weak armor to proc, or you can get multiple weak armors with the endure. You gotta play around like that. It sucks Kabutops doesn't learn something like Reversal, because that would be really good in this. Reversal or Flail, really just to get that boost. Oh yeah, it doesn't learn it. But another way, actually, you could Flail. You could run Flail on this. Actually, it does learn Flail. You could run Flail on this instead of probably Leech Life if you just want that 250 base power. But it's up to you. I like the coverage of Leech Life, but it just depends on what you want. Especially with this one too, because you might not have 1 health, just depending on what you get hit with. Because your defense is 1 off. Like if you get hit with a weak physical attack, then it might not be worth it. But you can also play around with the Endure to get to 1 health guaranteed. So things like that. Another way to run Kabutops is in the rain. Just run Swords Dance, Swift Swim in the rain. Focus Sash, take a hit, Swords Dance, so you'll have +2 attack, +2 speed, because you'll be in the rain, your speed will be doubled. So I'd run Adamant on this one because you're guaranteed to have the +2, or pretty much double your speed in the rain. Again, Stone Edge, Liquidation. You have options with these two, with your stab of what you want to run. The last spot, Flail's an option, Body Slam, Leech Life. Just depends on what you want to do. This one isn't, you don't have to worry as much about getting, like this one pretty much you're not really worried about anything. You don't need the opponent to hit you with a certain move. You don't need to get hit with a ground or a super effective hit. But like for example, for this one, you want to get hit with like a grass, like a special hit, a super effective special hit just to be at 1 health and play around with that. Another thing you could do is just Swift Swim and just go max attack, max speed, and just do damage. Liquidations, Stone Edge again. The 2 stab moves have things. You can choose what you want. Super Power and Psycho Cut. Like if you want a Dynamax, Super Power and Dino Cut or Psycho Cut are also really good, because Super Power will raise your attack. Psycho Cut will bring the Psychic Terrain, which gets sort of priority, which could help you out, especially if you're at lower health. Stone Edge, Liquidation. Actually, I don't know if Kabutops learned Aqua Tail. Actually, now that I think about it, he might not learn Aqua Tail. Yeah, he doesn't learn Aqua Tail anymore, so ignore that. I forgot. Yeah, he doesn't learn Aqua Tail anymore. So Liquidation is the best move to run Dynamax. But yeah, I completely forgot he doesn't get Aqua Tail anymore. But Dynamax, you want to come in. Stone Edge brings Sandstorm, which actually raises your special defense. While Dynamax, you might actually survive an extra hit because of that, especially. So you can play around that a little bit. Plus, the Sandstorm will get rid of Focus Sashes and things like that. The Endurance strategies, it'll take them out because of the chip damage at the end of the turn. But especially with this, also you can bring this in on something slower and take them out with a Liquidation or force them to switch. That way you'll have the Swift Swim on your side already at the beginning of the turn, so you'll outspeed everything. Especially if they switch out and they try to bring in something faster to take out Kabutops, and you get a free Liquidation, you outspeed and then you KO them next turn. So you can do some things like that to pretty much guarantee your outspeed. But another way to do it is to take use of the just Aqua Jet, which is pretty much Endure, Weakness Policy, and then Aqua Jet everything down. If you can get Rain, that's even better, because then you'll really do a lot of damage. But the plan, Rock Slide, Flinch. Again, you could run Stone Edge if you want, it's up to you. Flail, because you'll be at so low health. But pretty much Endure, Weakness Policy, Aqua Jet everything down. That's the plan with this one. You don't really need the weak armor. You can run the Swift Swim if you're trying to do it in Rain, just in case. Like if you want to do the Aqua Jet in Rain, you can run Swift Swim. I like the weak armor though, just so you'll have the speed boost. Like in case the rain runs out or something like that, this weak armor will raise your speed. So it's up to, like, it doesn't really matter which ability, but I like the weak armor just in case. Or they bring in something that gets rid of the rain. Like they bring in a Tyranitar or something like that. Or they just change the weather Dynamax, so you can get back. But some of the other moves Kabutops learns are like Night Slash, for example, Slash. He can Psycho Cut all the high crit moves. He has some special moves, but like his special attack 65, so it's really not that good. He also learns Metal Sound, which lowers their special attack by 2, but has 85 accuracy. But some of the other things, Mega Kick, it's not good. Giga Impact is an option if you just want that blow up move. Dig, Rock Slide, Thief. Did he learn Knockoff? He doesn't learn Knockoff, which would be really good on him. But he doesn't have very much coverage though. Like that is one thing that sucks. Razor Shot, like Cross Poison, Psycho Cut. Those are options. If you want some poison in there, Cross Poison's good. But the thing that sucks is he doesn't have very much coverage. Brick Break, if you really want a fighting move in there, you could run Brick Break instead of like Psycho Cut though. Well, if you in that last move, you could run something like a Brick Break instead of like Leech Life or Flail. If you just want that fighting coverage, you can run something like that. But like the thing about him that's like he doesn't have very much coverage. Like in the coverage he does has 70 base power. Psycho Cut has 70, Cross Poison has 70, Night Slash has 70. So it's like Body Slam's also really good though, especially if you get that paralysis. But like he doesn't have very much coverage, which kind of sucks. Sub, Iron Defense, but I wouldn't really use Iron Defense on him because his health is just so low and he has no sustain, and you don't really gain anything from it. Stealth Rocks is also an option, but it's not the best with Stealth Rocks. And again, special moves. Confuse Ray is pretty good, but not really on him. He does actually have Knockoff. Knockoff is really good then on him. If you want to run Knockoff in one of the sets just for the dark coverage, Knockoff's actually really good on him. Again, Facade too for special, or if you get burned or something. Dig's also really good on Dynamax set. If you want to Dynamax with Dig, that's good for the ground coverage, but Knockoff's really good. I didn't notice he got that. Flip Turns, whatever. Meteor special, so you can't really use that. But I would say pretty much for most of these sets, the setup move, whether it's Endure or the Swords Dance, and then the dual stab, and then whatever you want that last slot. So whether it's Flail, whether it's Brick Break, Leech Life, or Knockoff, which is actually really good because Knockoff will have 95. Of all the moves, I would say either Flail or Knockoff, just because Knockoff has 100 base power, or it has like 97 or something like that base power when they have an item. So you can kind of play around that, which is really good. Either way, Knockoff's really good as a move. But that's how you use Kabutops in Pokemon Sword and Shield.